Sakamoto Days was interesting. I didn't think the Sakamoto Days should have had an anime yet, if I'm being very honest. I think it's the equivalent of Kagurabachi having an anime when Chihiro was teaming up with the Flamebone woman to take down the Rakuzaji. That's the equivalent of it for me. I see they're doing this whole 12 episodes like season one, like part A, part B season thingy, but I didn't think the anime should happen. And then I heard it was Netflix, and I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, this is gonna be another record of Ragnarok." And I saw like the coloring, I saw the trailers, and I defended it at first. I did defend Sakamoto Days. I was like, "This isn't that bad. Like, it's just that these fights aren't very important. There is still good motion. Like, yes, there's a few, like still pretty images and pretty JPEGs that are just very detailed, but it's still nice. And I like the little comic book what's called aesthetic that the anime kind of had, and it just suited the manga. But then we got into the actual sick fights and cool moments that should have been fluid and just I should have just been seeing much more, and it didn't give that. Um the Takamura slice, it was just like when he's trying to slice the mosquito in the car, it's just action lines, man. And I like initially I was furious, I was angry, I hated it. I was like, I'm gonna scream and shit, but like the animation of the entire season wasn't awful. That's the thing. It's just the fight choreography, even the fight with Gaki versus Sakamoto and the other girl that's obsessed with Sakamoto, right? That fight should have been a bit better. There should have been more fluidity. The issue I have is there's too many still frames, too many pretty pictures. Um, there's good shading, everything else is decent. It's just like the movement is so minimal. It's so minuscule. It's like 5 seconds of flowing movement, and then we have reaction frames, still frames, reaction frame, still frame, 5 second of movement, reaction frame, still frame, 5 seconds of movements. Like then we pan back to Gaku, who's complaining to the deer guy. I can't remember names for the life of me. And I don't think the animation is terrible, because animation is just much more than pretty colors and something just not looking like 90s animation. Because I feel like the way we describe animation as a whole isn't great. When we say something is badly animated, I think it should encompass the look of it, shading, the color schemes, the art style itself. Because again, Kaiju number 8 is well animated, but the art style is terrible. Kafka looks like a sea cucumber when he transforms. It is awful. And Iso just looks like a short 4'11" Russian bodybuilder. But for Sakamoto Days, for an action anime like that, again, this is the problem that Netflix keep having, because they've done this with Record of Ragnarok. There's no motion, there's no fluidity. The fights should be insane. These are martial arts masters. Like they really should be like Naruto level choreography, Naruto level motion. And even when Studio Pierrot was coming out with Naruto, even though like animation wasn't on the level that it is now, the one thing they did do was the choreography, and they were making that weekly, so they wouldn't have had as much time as they would have had now. And even if you're telling me that okay, the episodes are coming out weekly, we can like Sakamoto Days is very pretty, it's very bright, it's very flashy. We can turn that down. We can take the budget from the colors and everything, and just throw that into fluidity. Like I don't see why we need to why, if budget is the issue, we can't sacrifice, because most people, or at least most people that I interact with and speak to about anime, and I hope most people that are like subscribed or follow here, prefer, from what I've read in the comments, prefer fluidity, prefer fluid motions. Like if I'm looking for an anime fight, I'm not looking for the pretty colors and everything. Like I'll go watch something else. I'll go watch like a DC animated movie for that. If I want to see an anime fight, if I want to see an action anime, I want to see fluidity. I want to see, especially with soccer, because the whole thing about with the JCC assassin schools and everything, like these guys have studied years in martial arts. We should see that fluidity transfer over. Like we had, like there was some. Don't get me wrong, there were highlights like Shin versus, what is his name? Is his name Ryu, or is that someone else? I can't remember. Shin versus the little 14 Mifune. Shin versus Mifune. in the plane. That fight had a lot of very good choreography, very good fluidity. I wasn't a big fan of Shin of what's called when Shin applied his ability, but like obviously it's like kind of like a reaction and time based, not time based, but like preconceived reaction based power essentially. So there's no way to kind of make that so fluid. I guess it just depends on, because as a manga reader, you have how it looks in your head, but then how you think of it wouldn't be. It depends on the director directing the anime essentially. So I think direction is decent, but it needs to go to another level to then improve on the fighting choreography and everything. So I don't think I think overall the animation is probably like I'll probably give it a 6.5, 7 out of 10. I don't think it's like insane or anything, but I think it holds itself back. And I also think the anime is just 2 years too early in my opinion. There was hype around Sakamoto days, like right after JJK and like leading up to like tail end of 2024. But I don't think when the anime came out, Sakamoto Days had a good amount of hype justifying why, especially with the animation and art style that they've gone with. I don't think it had as much hype, and Netflix didn't push it as much. Like with Gachi Akuya, we saw the Gachi Akuya roll out. We've even seen the Gachi Akuya mangaka, like she's pushing her product. It feels like Sakamoto Days isn't being properly pushed, A, and B, it's just kind of being like, okay, well, here's another Netflix anime, you know? But that's just my 2 cents.